Hello and welcome to this new tutorial on Maya ML Deformers. This time I think I'm gonna focus on try and create some cloth simulation and see how well the ML Deformer can learn the deformation, and hopefully we can apply it to some animation and see some full moving and stuff like that. So let's get started. This time, compared to last time, we can stay in Maya 2025 because finally the folks at Quixel or Epic Games and those doing this stuff, they updated the Maya plugin, so now it works with Maya 2025 out of the box. We don't need to do back and forth like last time. So if you install Bridge, then you go to Edit, Manage Plugins. Make sure you updated the Maya plugin to at least 7.3 or newer. So this is the version that works with Maya 2025. Next, what we're going to do, you click this icon right here and you get your MetaHuman, because again, I'm going to use a MetaHuman for this example, which is, it's a really cool workflow. I already downloaded this guy, ActorCore. So basically, once you download it, you click here. You click here on these three dots, and in export settings, make sure that you have Maya selected, like this, and then you can just click export. Maya needs to be open. So if you click me, it's gonna say, well, just inside you want to import MetaHuman character. Just click yes, and this is going to go through and load everything that if it's needed to properly load the MetaHuman, including the DNA file and all that good stuff. Alright, so it has loaded our MetaHuman, but there are a few things that we need to change. First of all, you might notice down here that now the up axis in Maya is now Z or Z. This is because they're using the same axis orientation as Unreal Engine, but I don't like that. So first thing to do is going to Windows, Setting Preferences, and Preferences. Here under Settings, just change back to the up axis to be Y and click Save. But now, if we turn on, so if we go back to the default view, you can see that the character is leaning this way. So we need to rotate him. Let's go to Show, Viewport, Joints. I just want to click this joint here. I believe it's minus 90. Yeah, so, and I'll apply minus 90. If you want, you could select this like group and set minus 90 on the X as well. And also for the face, we're not going to use it, but just to have the scene a little bit cleaner. So the head group here, select it and simply skip minus 90. Alright, whoops, no, actually not the whole group. I just want the head rig group. There you go, yeah. And minus 90. There you go. So this should still be working. Let me hide this stuff behind these joints. So if I select this, yeah, everything works. If I show the joints like this, the rake should work. Yeah, there you go. Anything works fine. All right. So like this. Okay. All right. So we ported the character, and what we want to do now is to, well, we want to apply some trouser. We're going to use ML Designer for that. You can use whatever you want, and then we need to create some poses. But unlike last time that I generated 10,000 random poses, this time we're going to do it a little bit differently, because for the cloth, generating 10,000 poses, it's not a good idea. I will explain that why is that a bit later. So let's get started. So let's first of all, I'm going to change the frame rate to 60 FPS, and this is going to be important later. And I don't know. Let's start with 200 frames or something. And for this example, I'm just going to focus on the. I'm just going to make some trousers, so I'm just going to focus on the legs. I'm not going to worry about the arms, and because the arms for the cloth they're kind of complicated. There's so much range of movement here. It's going to be a little bit more complicated. So for now, for this example, I'm just going to focus on the legs. We're going to put some pants on this guy, and hopefully things are going to do okay. So I want to create some key poses. So something like one like this, maybe one like this. Then we're gonna do the variations like this and things like that. So just so we can have a bunch of key poses that we can simulate our cloth. Let's start with this leg. Just gonna rotate, I'm gonna set a key like that, and from now I'm just gonna turn on auto key. So I'm just gonna go like 10 frames. So if you go to frame 10, just gonna rotate this guy maybe 100, something like that. Then let's see, frame 20. Let's create a key here. Go to frame 20. I'm just gonna rotate like this. It's gonna be 120. I don't know if you noted that distortion there. Sometimes when you move, it's gonna look weird, but as soon as you let go, it's gonna be fine. So don't worry about it. So like, let's see, 1, 2. Let's go to frame 30. Maybe I'm gonna move this guy out here. So let's do -90, and let's set a key here. Also, let me get this arm out of the way. Not when I use the arms, but just to get out of the way, because when we simulate, we don't want the arm to go through there. Click for. Yeah, I don't really like this one. Let's go. Let's call it this here. So 0, 0, and 0. So from here it goes down like this, and 60 goes up like this. Let's do a -90, and also let's set a key here. This one, and then 70. Just go that to 0 here. So we got this like this, and 80 is his going back down, I think. Oh man, I forgot to set the key here. This was -90. Look here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. I'm gonna do the same on the other leg, and then we can continue. Okay, so I ended up adding quite a few frames. As you can see, I have 740 frames. And I spaced a little bit more the keys, so instead of going 10 frames, I moved them to 20. And I have made a bunch of key poses. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then basically the same thing on the other side. And then when it goes back, I move up like this, boom, boom, boom. This movement and both left and right knee goes back. These two up and down like that. So I'll show you one more time. It goes like this, then it goes like this, and like that. Okay, so the goal here is to have as many key poses as I possibly can think of for the legs. And obviously I didn't cover all the possible poses, but hopefully this range of movement is going to be enough for the ML Deformer to learn the deformation. If not, I might have to come back and add some more poses and retrain it, but for now, let's go with this one. Okay, so the next step is going to be to add some pants to this dude. And to do that, we are going to export this guy here. Actually, you know what? This is the two pieces one. Even though I don't really care because I'm gonna use the trousers, I am going to use, let's see, so let me hide the head and the body. And I'm gonna use this one, which is the combined. So the combined as, so let me hide the slides here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So this is just one mesh. It's the combined MetaHuman comes with this one. So I'm just gonna select this guy right here, and I'm going to export this as a Alembic, so I get all the deformations here. And I'm going to export this into Marvelous Designer. I'm going to add some very simple pants and then bring it back into Maya. So select this guy, cache, Alembic cache, export selection to Alembic. So time slider, that's fine. Let's add maybe UV and export. I'm gonna make a new folder, call it ML trousers tutorial, and I'm gonna call this guy body poses. Alright, export. So now this is going to export all the frames with the deformations, and so I can load this as an avatar in Marvelous Designer, and then we're going to add some pants and simulate the cloth. Alright, we are in Marvelous Designer, and from the file menu, let's click on import and select Alembic. I'm just going to select body poses. This is the guy that I just exported. So scale is going to be centimeters and Y up, and then click OK. Alright, here's the guy that we just made. So for the trousers, I'm just going to use, if you go to library, there's a already made pair of pants. These are gonna be perfectly fine. I'm just gonna make them a little bit more visible, just with changing the color here. Okay, if we simulate this, you're gonna fall like that. Let's see if we can put this a little bit in here. There you go. First of all, I kind of want them to be a little bit higher. So I'm going to select the top line, and in here there should be, okay, so here there's elastic. I'm just going to check elastic, set the strength to like 50 maybe, and now there should be a lot more. Let's bring it a little bit, maybe like here. Yeah, and just drop it a little bit like so. something like that. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is to change the mesh type. So I'm going to select all the pieces here, and first of all, the distance, I'm gonna set it to 10, so they're gonna be a bit more dense, and triangle, I'm gonna change it to quad optimized. This should convert exactly like that. I click simulate. Okay, yeah. And one last thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the fabric type from custom to, let's see, mid cotton jersey maybe. Let's see how this behaves. Yeah, this one seems okay. Alright, yeah, this one seems cool. So, maybe and just put it a little bit higher. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and one last thing, I'm going to pin edit track on avatar, so that when it simulates, I'm going to add a few points, so that when it simulates, the cloth is gonna stay on this line here on the avatar, and it's not gonna go all over the place. Alright, so if we expand the animation here, you can see that we have our animation, and so we need to change the FPS to 60. Okay, that's so the end is 714. All right. Yeah, that's correct. Let's go back. So simulation quality, we're gonna set animation stable, and that should be it. Let's see. Let's record and see how it goes. Okay, so the simulation has finished, and yeah, it looks like it's fine. So the reason why we didn't, like last time, we generated 10,000 random poses from Maya. The reason why we couldn't do this with the cloth is because for code simulation you do need at least a few frames, maybe like 10, 15, 20 frames from one pose to the other, in order for the simulation to work. Because if you have each frame a completely different random pose, there is not enough time for the simulation to work. It will break immediately because there's no movement. The limbs are literally teleporting from one frame to the other. And even if you want to add all the frames in between, first of all, you're gonna have tens of thousands of frames. It's gonna take forever. I don't even know if it's doable in one go. But the problem is that because the poses are random, you will definitely have situations where from one pose to the other, the arms are gonna go through the body. It's gonna go. The legs are gonna go through the arms, and all these kind of problems. Obviously, you cannot have that because the simulation will break. And if you have to go and fix every time, it's gonna be a thing. I already tried that. It's not gonna work. Now it is possible to do that, but in order to be able to achieve that, you will need to do some advanced scripting. But this is really advanced stuff. We're not going to go into any of that in this video, in this tutorial. So for this video, we're just going to go with these set of poses. So we've done our simulations. So let's go to File, Export, Alembic, and we want to call this parents. Yeah, just parents. It's fine. So we want Ogawa, weld, fin, scale centimeters, entire region, and yeah, that's okay. Click OK, and this will save the file. Okay, let's go back to Maya and import our trousers. All right, back to Maya. So let's go back to cache, Alembic cache, import Alembic. And this is gonna be in this folder, and it's pants.alembic. So here's our pants. Let's make a material that makes this a little bit more visible. Let's add some something like that. So let's go to frame 0, and I'm going to rename this cloth ABC because it's the Alembic. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call this geo. For now I'm going to hide this one. So the geo does not have the cache attached. So what we're going to do, we need to bind this geometry to our joint. So let's go back into the okay. So like I said last time, MetaHuman has two sets of joints. When you do the baking, you do not want to bake your joints to this one. These are the drivers. You want to bake them to this one, the one that the HI body. Okay, so select your mesh, go to skin, bind skin. Let's preset the settings, and I'm just gonna remove colorite skeleton. Apply and close. So okay, next select your mesh, your trouser, skin, copy skin weights, reset settings, and copy. Okay, much better. For this part right here, I'm gonna go into a frame like this. Okay, and I'm gonna try NG Skin Tools. This is a free plugin. You can search for NG Skin Tools. It's a lot better than my painting tool. I'm just gonna switch this one to grayscale, smooth, and just gonna paint this like so. Yeah, something like that. I just have a little bit better deformations here. There you go. Doesn't have to be perfect, but something to work with. Alright, so I need to save the scene. I want to differentiate visually the Alembic, so I'm just gonna assign a new material real quick. This is gonna be, I don't know, yeah, slightly like that. So the yellow is the Alembic and the blue one is the geo. So we have something to differentiate. Okay, so now we can start with the ML Deformer settings, and this time is going to be a lot simpler compared to last time, so you'll see. So just select our geometry, not the Alembic, the geometry, okay, the one that we just bound to the skin. Let's go to Deform, ML Deformer, okay, and let's click here, this pin. So this panel is going to stay here. Right, now let's go back to let's select the cloth ABC, the Alembic, and right click here, replace target with selected. Okay, and here you see code shape 0, which is the code Alembic. Alright, so in the ControlCollector up here, let's expand the controls. For this one, I actually do want the drivers. So this one, the root drivers joint. This is a little bit confusing because the double joint set that Metahuman has. So make sure you're back to the root driver set. Okay. Select then 1, 2, 3, and 4, and right click add all. All right. So we don't need all of the axes, because if you select one of the joints, you can see that the thigh joint only has rotation on Y and Z, and the calf joint only has rotation on the Z. So we don't actually need some of these rotations. So for the thigh, the X is not needed, so we can delete these two. And for the calf, we don't need X and Y, and X and Y. We can remove these two. So we only have Y and Z, Y and Z, Z and Z. And also, this goes from -100 to 100. I'm just gonna up this to 120 because the calf I have rotated it 120. So I'm just gonna set this to 120, and this should be good to go. So these are the only rotations and the only controls that we need. So let's go back to ML Deformer. Let's select this one and click the Export Train Data button. So let's select the folders, quick browse. This is the folder that I just made before. That's fine, select folder. So end frame, it's 740. 740. Data name is pants, that's fine. Now delta mode, I definitely want offset because surface is really bad. It gives really bad results. Smooth iteration, I think I'm gonna go with 2 or 3. Let's do 3. Click save and then reopen it again. Make sure that everything is fine and click export. So this is gonna go through and export all our 740 frames for the training. And it should only take a minute. Alright, done. Now, next, let me select the train parameters here. So this folder is fine. Model root location, let's select the same folder. And then training model is pants. Up model is also going to be pants because it saves it with a different into a different folder with a different name anyway. So let's open the settings. Okay, I'm not gonna re-explain these parameters. If you want to know what these do, watch the previous video, or you can go into the Maya help. There's a very good section. Search for Maya ML Deformer on Google. You will find all the informations about what any of these settings do. If you hover over this, it can tells you a little bit. It gives you a hint. It's all very confusing. I'm just gonna type the value that I used for my previous experiments, and I got decent results. So batch size, so this is basically the memory. I'm going with 512 epochs. I'm going with 6000. Validation ratio is how many steps is used to check. I'm going to go 0.4. Learning rate 0.1. Hidden layer count, I'm going to go with 5. Neurons per layer 2048. Dropout ratio 0.1. And so at this point we could use the principal shapes. I'll show you. So if I turn this on and click on analyze principal shapes, if we scroll down, you can see that there's a bunch of numbers with a bunch of joins. So the accuracy, the lower we go, the more the accuracy increases. Basically, this says to reach accuracy of 1, we need 739 shapes, which it's basically the same amount of frame that we have. However, we can only, I believe the max is 500. If you find like 600, yeah, it's not allowing you. So the max is 500. And 500 basically will only get you to 0.99, which is fine. You could train like this. However, from my testing, because I already tested this stuff before making this tutorial, obviously, from my testing, I found that I get better result without using the principal shapes. So you can try it. Just select this and see how many principal shape you need to get at least to 0.99. It's fine. You can try these settings. I'm gonna do it without it because I got better results. So let's click on save. Select this again. Open it, and let's make sure that everything is saved. All right. So when we're ready, we just click train, and Maya is going to open a couple of prompt window like this. If this is the first time you use ML Deformer, Maya is going to tell you that it needs to download a bunch of stuff. Just say yes, it's going to download everything for you, and we just leave it training like this. I set 6,000 epochs. It's probably going to take maybe a couple of minutes, so we're going to let it run and see what we got. Alright, looks like we finished. As you can see, I got the after 6,000 epochs, the training loss was 0.09 and the validation loss was 0.1. So ideally, you want to get these two numbers as close to 0 as possible, and also you want them to be as close together as possible. So there is a little bit of difference. If you want if you want to see better what the results of the training went, if you select your ML model, you can click this. Actually, no, it's not here. Right click here, it says view training result, right? And it shows you graphs. Basically, seems that this one was okay. You want to have both of these lines as close together as possible, as well as close at 0 as possible. But yeah. So once you finish, you just click enable, and immediately notice that if I turn it on and off, it gets the default pose. It gets a little bit smoother, but that's okay. So if we start scrolling, so obviously the first thing we're going to notice is that the mesh, the body mesh, goes a little bit outside of the trouser. This has to be expected because the training result is not going to be 100% perfectly matching the original body. So for now, basically, usually what you want to do is if you have a character like this, you're just going to remove all the faces that goes inside the trousers. so you don't have them picking outside. For now, we're just gonna hide the character. So if I select the mesh and I click 3 on my keyboard, I'm going to the smoothed version, which is a lot better. And you can see that if I scroll through my timeline, I got all this nice deformation. This is all baked in the deformer. As you can see, everything came out quite nice, at least talking about the training data, right? So you can see even the bulge here has been retained. You can turn on and off the ML Deformer at any time, and you can see that all these nice deformations like this, the folds and everything, if I turn it on and off, there's a huge difference. Okay, now the question is, how well does this work for animations that they are not part of the training? So if we turn back on the joints and I start moving them freely, you can see that it seems to be holding up pretty well, at least for this. I can rotate like this, seems to be working pretty well. How about the knee? Yeah, the knee seems pretty nice. As you can see, that is getting these nice folds. Let's see the back. Yeah, it's working pretty well, I would say. These poses I can rotate like this. These are not strictly poses that were in the training, but it seems to be holding up pretty well. Let's see if I do this. Yeah, it's working. It's working pretty nicely. So one thing that we can do to test even further, we can import a animation and see with a completely arbitrary animation, like a, I don't know, like a walking animation, how well our training works, and if we can get some nice fold with a walking animation. So I'm gonna save this scene. So there's plenty of places where you can get free motion capture animation. A very popular destination is Mixamo. You can find all sorts of free motion capture animation. They're pretty nice quality. However, I'm gonna use one of these motion capture from ActorCore. If you just Google ActorCore motion capture, you will find this website. And if you go here, instead of hot, you search for price low to high, you will find a bunch of free animations that you can download. They're very high quality. You can see all of these ones are free. So I think what I'm going to download is this one. So this says walk relaxed. If you click on it, it's going to give you a preview. And from here you can preview with different character. I think I'm gonna get this character right here. Moving place. I think this is already moving place, but it's okay. So I'm gonna get this animation right here, which is a walking loop. I believe inside there's, so it says motion includes start, loop, and hand. So you can just, I'm just gonna use the loop part to get the character walking, so we can test it with our ML Deformer. So you just click download. I already downloaded it, so just click on download. It's gonna put it in the cart, even if it's free, and then you can download it from there. Alright, before you can assign the animation, I think the easiest thing that we can do is to apply a HumanIK to our character here, so that we can easily transfer the animation from the mannequin that we just saw earlier to this character. So let's go to skeleton. HumanIK. Okay, so this is gonna take only a minute. So let's go to definition, and okay, so let's start with the this joint here. Right click, assign bone. You can also double click and click on the joint. That's the same. Spine 1. Double click. Spine. Spine 2. Oh, this was already spine 2. Spine 2. Spine 3. Spine 4. And we go to the neck. Neck 1. Neck 2. The head is this here. This joint right here. Left arm. And I believe we need to move these two. We need to rotate these two a little bit because they want a T-pose, so that should be fine. We will click here. Now the hand. We don't want to need to do the fingers. The legs and the foot. Okay, that should be good. So if we lock the definition, let's rename this character. I'm gonna call it Metahuman. All right, and then I extracted the character that I downloaded. So it's this guy here, Motion Dummy Male. So if I drop it into the scene, there it is. So this character, actually on their website, you can also find already an XML that has all the HumanIK control assigned, so you don't have to redo this this operation. Basically, what you go here and click on plus. Let's rename this character to ActorCore or whatever you want, and let's select just a joint here. Load. Let's click on browse, and then let's select this one, and then OK. As you can see, it already populates everything automatically. Just lock this, so you don't need to do anything else. And now let's import our walk relax loop. Okay, so as you can see, the mannequin is walking, and looks like we have 310 frames. Okay, so let's set this to 310. Okay, now to drive our metahuman, we simply select it from here, so metahuman, and the source is gonna be ActorCore. As you can see now, they're both walking. Now let's hide this character here because we don't need to see it. You can see that our metahuman is now retargeted. So hopefully, if everything works correctly, these are the trousers, and so if we now turn on the ML Deformer, okay, we need to, I see some changes. I'm just gonna hide the body so we can focus on the folds. Is it gonna work? Yeah, I think it's gonna work. You can see some of the folds here, and I'm just gonna click play. Yeah, it's working. You can see the fold are being applied to the animations. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's working pretty well actually. A lot better than I thought. Yeah, yeah. You can see that. You can see the folds here behind the knee and this area here. Obviously, they are not perfect. I mean, if you would just simulate this specific walking animation, obviously it's gonna look better. But this is a generic. This is a model that we trained, and it has to support a basically unlimited range of motion, and the result is, I would say, it's pretty good. Can be improved for sure. It can be improved, but well, you get some folds, so not too bad, not too shabby for a few minutes of training. All right, well, I think this was a success. This concludes the tutorial. I hope this was informative. I hope you learned something, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So see you next time. Bye.